Hey YouTubers, it's Amazon Queen. Coming to you today. It is the last day of April, and I thought I would share some things to help fight food blindness, because I don't know about you, but this whole vegetable and protein thing is getting real old real quick. And I thought I would share, I went on a kind of a shopping spree today. There was a bunch of stuff in Central Market that were on sale, like meats and stuff, so I picked up a whole bunch and got them. We have a huge freezer in our garage, and so I've been filling it, and I've been filling it with a lot of fish and a lot of seafood, like shrimp and stuff. And shrimp was on sale today, so I picked up close to $100 worth of shrimp, and I bought a bunch of the snack pack, or the snack Ziploc bags that are they're half the size of a regular sandwich bag. And I put 5 shrimp in, and each shrimp was probably about as big as my thumb, maybe a little bit longer, the actual part that you would eat. And they were already deveined, they were already peeled, they still had the tail on, which is fine. And then I made up a couple marinades and did a couple batches of different marinades. Excuse me, I just chugged a bunch of water because I was really thirsty. One of the marinades I did, I kind of made it up my own. I just kind of opened my fridge and looked what was in there. And it was pineapple juice, because my husband and my kids like pineapple juice. So do I, but I haven't touched any of it. It was pineapple juice, a little bit of lemon juice, freshly grated ginger, some crushed garlic, salt and pepper to taste, and a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of parsley. And I stirred that all up and dumped 1 tablespoon into each little bag. Ziplocked them, squished them up, put them into a bigger Ziploc bag, marked the bag, and threw them in the freezer. That way they're all ready to go. All I have to do is pull one out, throw it in the fridge. Because tuna fish, I've been eating a lot of tuna fish and a lot of turkey, and it's getting old. And I want to keep this up, and especially after surgery, I want to keep up this low carb thing. So I've got to kind of find new ways to kind of keep things enhanced. So I thought I would share some of the things that I use to enhance my foods, to give them a lot more flavor for a lot less calories. And one of my favorite things, like I used in that marinade, was freshly grated ginger. And if you're not much of a foodie and you don't go to, and you kind of avoid the herb section at your local grocery store, you're missing out on a lot. This is actually a ginger plant, ginger root, and you can see where I busted off a big old finger. And this thing is pretty big. I mean, they get huge. This one's about the size of my hand. And you just break a piece off, you peel it, and you can either grate it, you can chop it up, you can put it in stir fries. If you like Asian food, this is one of the biggest ingredients in Asian food, right here next to soy sauce, is ginger. And it's really great if you're feeling nauseous. That's what they give, like Prego Pops. If you're pregnant or something, they have a lot of ginger in them to help fight the nausea. And I know after post-op, a lot of people were complaining of problems with a little bit of nausea. And so I bought myself a big old thing of ginger. I'm going to grate up a bunch of it, and I'm going to freeze it. And that way I can break some out and put it into like teas, or even into my water, just to give it some flavor with the ginger to help fight nausea. Some other things I use and I keep in my fridge pretty much at all times. One of my favorites is Tabasco. A few drops of this goes a long way. I put this in my eggs. I put this practically on everything. To me, this is almost like ketchup and ranch. This is a food group unto itself. Matter of fact, I have about 6 of these cayenne pepper plants growing out in my backyard right now, and I can't wait until I can start harvesting some peppers. But if you're getting really bored with your scrambled eggs, I know, Kira, that you said you were having scrambled eggs with a little bit of cheese in the morning, and you were going to increase your protein. Maybe add a little bit of Tabasco, or some chopped up peppers, bell peppers. I have in those little snack bag things. Those things are awesome. I went and bought, probably about a month ago, I went out and I bought close to $50 or $75 worth of red, yellow, orange bell pepper, and I cut them up into a nice dice and put them into little baggies, probably about 1/8 of a cup each into each little baggie. Did onions, chopped those all up, both white and red, and did zucchini and yellow squash. And what I do in the morning, most of the time, yeah, I do make myself a scrambled egg, but a lot of the times I make myself a frittata, which is an open-faced omelet, and I'll add zucchini to it. I'll add some bell pepper. I'll add some onion. I'll saute it in the pan a little bit with maybe 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon of olive oil, and I'll get that nice and caramelized a little bit. I'll throw my egg in there, stir that up, and I throw it in the oven and bake it until it's nice and golden brown. You can put some cheese on it if you want. I've even been known to chop up some turkey bacon and throw it in there, or Morningstar vegetarian sausage patties. I'll take one patty, chop it up, and throw it in there just to add some protein without adding, hopefully, a whole lot of empty calories. Some other things I have in my fridge that I use to kind of spice up my food is horseradish. I like to make my own cocktail sauce, especially for like shrimp cocktail, because I've noticed in a lot of the store-bought cocktail sauces, there's a lot of sugar in those. So I make my own at home. I also have a bunch of these that I keep in my fridge. Now that it's spring and actually summer for us here in Texas, I've got a lot of herbs growing outside, but I keep a lot of these, and just about every grocery store, including Walmart, has these over in the herb section of the produce section. And these are great to have because you can add these to your soups to add a little bit of flavor. They actually have one in ginger in these tubes, but they were out, so I don't have any. I have the fresh ginger instead. But garlic, parsley, cilantro, basil. This is pretty concentrated stuff. Each one of these contains 3 bunches. This tube right here is 23 cloves of garlic shoved into one tube, which is great. So, you know, maybe pick yourself up a couple of these, stir them in with your eggs, stir them in with your, especially when we go into our clear liquid stage, or we're in our liquid or soft food stage. You can add a little bit of this instead of chopping up the fresh stuff. Just put a little bit of this in there, and it'll give you a lot of flavor for very, very little. I also have a lot of spices, and I will not take you into my kitchen because it's a disaster right now because we're reorganizing because we've had to kind of throw a bunch of stuff out and give some stuff away. So my counters are covered in pantry stuff as we reorganize our pantry. But maybe later, after we get it all nice and pretty, I'll give you guys a shot of that. Thought I'd share some of my cookbooks with you. This is by far one of my favorite cookbooks. My husband actually got this for me for my birthday about a year ago, I think. And this is Jamie at Home. If any of you guys watch Food Network, he's the, I think he was called the Naked Chef. He's from England, and this is where he kind of makes a bunch of stuff from the garden out back of his house. And if you've not seen the Jamie at Home, it was only on for like 1 season, I think. This has got all the recipes for it in there, but his garden, oh my God, if I could have a garden like that, I would be in heaven. But it's all fresh stuff made from the garden, and it's all seasonal. Like right here. I don't know, I'm going to try to get in so you can kind of see these. Like that one right there. This one here is barbecue steamed green leaves. This is spinach, arugula, Swiss chard, lemon or watercress, olive oil, lemon juice, and a little bit of sea salt wrapped in tin foil and thrown on the barbecue. This one here is a red onion, rosemary, and a little bit of butter. And then down here is a sweet potato with cumin, lime, and chili. And then this one right over here is barbecue steamed fennel, a fennel bulb, lemon, a whole lemon chopped up, lemon, I already said that, olive oil, fresh red chili, sea salt, freshly ground pepper, and fresh rosemary. And it's just all balled up into some tin foil and thrown on the barbecue. So, you know, if you can check out Amazon or something, or your local bookstore, but this is a great book to have. And I've actually made most of the recipes in here. And they are very, very good, and they're very, very simple to make. They don't really require a whole lot of muss and fuss. He's got a bunch of soup recipes in here, so I'll be looking at this when I'm in my liquid phase that's out of the clear liquid phase. My other Bible, I would call it. For those of you that know me in real life, I love Mediterranean food, Greek food, Italian food, South France, South Spain, Moroccan, all along the Mediterranean. And it's also one of the healthiest diets to eat because they don't really eat a whole lot of red meat and they eat a lot of vegetable. And so I went into, I think it was like Half Price Books or something, and I got this book. It's called Mediterranean Food of the Sun. And as you can see, I've got markers in here. I'll turn it around so you can see the top of it. Of all the recipes that, and every single one of these tabs is a recipe that I've actually used out of this book. And I'll give you an example. There is like shrimp bisque, which has cream in it, so not that one. That particular one is not the healthiest for you. Stuffed tomatoes and peppers. This one is really, really good. I won't go through all of these because then I'll start getting hungry. But, you know, check out, especially if all you've got in your cabinet as far as cookbooks goes is like the Betty Crocker book. That's a really good book to have for basics, but, you know, maybe go check out Jamie Oliver's book. I highly, highly recommend, especially if you like very simple recipes. That you can't get more simpler than this book right here. It's a great book, and the food tastes absolutely fantastic, and it's seasonal, so you can use seasonal vegetables and stuff. I have an ungodly amount of spices. Oh my god. I actually have like one full cabinet that's nothing but spices and tea, if you can believe it. And for those of you that know me in real life can believe it. So if you're not much of a cook, I would highly suggest check out especially your local community colleges. A lot of the times, check their online classes. They actually offer cooking classes, and a lot of them offer ethnic cooking classes. Normally they're at a pretty minimal fee, so check those out. And make sure you're drinking your water. But like I said, you know, maybe go and get some of these, keep them in your fridge. They keep pretty well, as long as they're kept pretty cold. And some horseradish. Make your own condiments. Let's just put it that way. Tabasco is probably one of the few condiments that I refuse to make because I cannot get the taste right. I do grow a lot of cayenne because I dry it out and I grind it up and I make my own ground cayenne pepper, which again, I put that stuff in everything. It was sunny and now it's getting kind of cloudy. So check out the herb section, check out your spice section in your grocery stores, check out foodnetwork.com or the bookstore for a really good cookbook to spice things up, because cutting carbs out is a big deal, but not having, and a lot of people fall back on carbs because they get bored with just the regular old protein and vegetables. So spice it up a little bit. If you have a barbecue, grill your vegetables, grill your meats, which is what I'm going to be doing right now.